Welcome back to Four Guys, One Film.
Fuck.
We weren't ready.
It's okay. We weren't
Okay,
ready.
You guys ready? Let's do it.
I think it makes sense for the movie that we watched.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what you're talking about. That was a masterpiece. Well, this week, joined by my co-hosts, Alexis, George, Isaac. You know me, the host, Nick, this week. I've got the best movie that we've watched, I think, ever at this point for sure. Master of Disguise. Now, this one's a classic 2002 film.
I call it a cult classic.
It's definitely a cult classic at this point. There's everybody who's watched this film fucking loves it, but the few people who haven't seen this movie yet,
yeah.
Those idiots don't fucking know what
It just went over
is.
their head. Over their head.
They're too. They're just not refined enough to understand the quality that is Dana Carvey's gag jokes. But this movie is
masterfully done.
It's a PG movie, so if you don't know, obviously Dana Carvey.
The film is Disguise is a horrible movie,
right?
But it's
good. In reality, it's a good.
It's
movie.
a great one. It's a great one. That's how good it is that it disguises.
He understands. Energico. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, no, it's a.
You're not kidding. You're not kidding.
No, it flopped hard.
It flopped hard.
Wait, no, it didn't. No, it didn't. Because it made a ton of money.
Honestly,
it almost doubled its budget.
And it set records. I mean, probably 1% on Rotten Tomatoes.
But this treads near like The Room level, like where it's like, hey, it's one of those things that people went back to it, and then it became like a cult classic and had a huge following.
I don't know if this is a cult classic.
Unfortunately, Master of Disguise has not been discovered like The Room. Nobody's doing like rewatches in theaters.
They are now.
I think we should start it.
Tarantino's is gonna do the 52mm fucking film on it.
No, but
35.
what I'm saying is like it revolves around that same kind of realm.
Yeah. Somebody call James Franco.
He's gonna play the new fucking Master of Disguise.
Exactly. We're gonna get him on it. But no, this movie's a great movie. The whole premise, I guess, being one guy who's being sheltered away from his destiny.
Dana Carvey playing Pistachio Disguise. Pistachio.
You could never guess that that's him, that he is of the Disguise descendants,
yeah.
But he is a amazing actor in this one. He somehow is the least Italian, most Italian person who ever existed. But yeah, he it's kind of crazy though, because every time he does his characters, he actually sounds really good and he's really legitimate.
Yeah, he's actually really good at impersonations.
So it's like so funny that his main impersonation is just terrible. But then he goes into these modes where it's like, oh shit, you did sound just like that random character that popped up on screen. So, great film in my opinion, but I want to get into it. I want to talk a little bit about what you guys like, dislike. We'll get into a couple of different aspects, like the different actual disguises they did and impersonations. But first thing I really wanted to cover was, what did you guys think of it overall? Don't get too crazy. We're still going to do reviews at the end.
Well, look, man, I think the fact that it establishes disguisey lore, I got to give it like a ton of credit for that.
The lore.
Okay, it's so rich. It goes through like multiple generations of disguises all the way back to one of our presidents.
It's such a short movie.
Abraham Lincoln,
Abraham Lincoln,
Yeah, and with so little, we know so much about this family and how much they've contributed to American society. Yeah. And to go as far as what was that one tree that George Washington tried to chop? The cherry tree. They saved the cherry tree.
Yeah, they were the first environmentalists.
The first environmentalists. That's exactly where I'm going with. And there's definitely
nothing controversial about this movie at all.
No, I know this is fictional, but it should be real. This should be in books.
I personally enjoy the brown face. Need more representation.
I know you do.
I can't believe you said that.
That's insane.
That's
a hot
crazy.
take.
That is crazy.
God damn it, guys.
That's a George original take right there.
You guys were supposed to jump in and defend me.
I don't defend.
No backup on that.
I don't condone that behavior.
Damn, guys.
I don't know about that.
We're all brown here, right?
It's okay.
Alexis is black and then Asian, so that makes
the only brown one in here is me, man. You guys are white as shit.
I'm light skinned brown.
You're not light skinned brown. You're white.
I still speak Spanish. I hope that means something.
Yeah.
But no.
Let's keep it in. Let's keep it in.
There we go. Yeah. Well, what do you guys think? I heard a lot. I appreciate you talking about the lore, Alexis.
I really like this movie because I haven't seen it in a long time. And the last time I saw it, I had rented this movie out at Video Sky, and I saw
at the Video Sky. Yes, me too.
Yes.
Me too.
Video Sky. I never got it from there, but I remember that place.
This would be a typical Perone family household. We would get a movie at the Video Sky, go to Uno Free Pizza, go home and watch a killer fucking rad movie.
Like People don't know this because they wouldn't know this, but like here in Garden Grove, like Video Sky and Uno Free Pizza were like the spot, man.
Dude, that was my childhood.
Yeah, exactly. And Video Sky was like this tiny little like.
It wasn't tiny.
It was tiny.
It was pretty big.
Bro, like it was not big. It was not like Blockbuster big.
It was long as
okay,
hell.
well, yeah, but like the further back you went, that's when you saw the adult videos.
That took up half the store.
But like I remember the adult section had like a mirror in the top corner, where you could kind of see what they were selecting.
Dude, I always caught Alexis back there Friday nights, like I'm just picking out a movie.
You know what was my favorite thing about that store scene? The Batman and the Riddler clock.
Oh,
they were so fucking sick, dude.
They had cool movie posters, but yeah, I also got Master Disguise from that, and my mom bought the VHS of Master Disguise from Video Sky. We still have it. Yeah. We still have it.
To this day, huh?
To this day.
You should have told me. We could have. I would have bought a VCR. We should have watched it in the original.
Gator's going analog lately,
yeah,
huh?
He's preparing for the apocalypse, you know?
Yeah, no.
What do you think, George? Say something good, or else I don't want to hear it.
This is my first time viewing this as a fucking grown ass man.
Yeah.
I think I did not enjoy it the way that I should have if I would have watched it when I was younger.
George, we might have to sub
It is what it is.
George, we have to sub you out this episode for Andre.
No. I get the allure. I see,
Did you say lure?
Lure.
A lure,
bro. Oh, a lure.
I gotta warm up the hand because he's saying some stupid shit again.
Yeah. I can see why you guys liked it, and then also how it holds nostalgia for you guys, especially if you guys watched it when you guys were younger. Fucking renting it for Video Sky, I'm sure all that shit.
Good memories. Beautiful memories.
I unfortunately never had those memories. Never saw this until now, and I don't know if it holds that place in my heart. Like
so that's why you turned out how you turned out.
Yeah, I see. There's a gap. There's a gap in your life.
So what? Am I not turtle enough for the Turtle Club?
No, you're not. You're not at all.
Hey, we're all turtling, if you know what I mean. Though. South Americans up in this group, we all turtling.
We always turtle
from the front or the back end.
But no, I mean, I think
choice this week.
I think you're right that this movie plays a lot of nostalgia factor. You guys talking about like how it's a cult classic and people like the revival that this movie could have one day will have to do a lot with the fans who originally watched it. But I think personally, I mean, we talked a little bit about other trash movies that people have made, especially comedies. Whether it's like something like Jack and Jill, or The Room in this
case. Or Tag, horrible.
Best fucking movie. Okay.
Horrible.
But the thing that I wanted to say though is as much as these jokes
cast.
like can be either really funny in certain times, like there were little things that just actually will make me laugh for real, and then there's little things that I'm just like, oh, that's a gag funny and it's whatever. Nothing actually makes me cringe. Like there isn't a scene in this movie where I'm over here like, oh, that was just so stupid. I mean, don't get me wrong. We can watch nowadays and we talk about the brown face, we talk about sexism, we talk about
lots of sexism.
There was a few. He was having the conversation with the assistant and she's like, oh, this is for our young son, and he kept sneaking his way into like,
he kept calling her little ass and shit like that, and calling out her body. I mean, there's a lot of interesting things about that. Even like I was reading a fun fact or I guess trivia fact on IMDb, and apparently a lot of that had to do with the fact that Dana Carvey wanted to incorporate jokes that were body positive.
Because at the time, because nowadays, a big butt is great, but back then,
dumpy is fucking.
Back then, having a dumpy was bad.
Yeah,
especially having fucking that one chick's mom, fucking.
Oh, from Wizards of Waverly Place.
What's her name?
What's her name?
Let's see. She was.
Sophia? No, was it Sophia? Yeah.
Yeah, it's Maria Canals. As Sophia, so because she had a dump truck herself, and that whole joke that Jennifer Esposito, who played Jennifer Baker, the whole time she was the actual thin actress, but the idea was that they wanted to promote body positivity amongst women, say, hey, you know what, it's not just the time saying that women who are skinny or anorexic or anything like that should be anybody's in. I can promote anything. So there was good things for the times.
So it kind of aged well in that aspect.
That absolutely, and
because I think larger women were appreciated in this film.
Yeah,
so what
absolutely.
You think the brown face aged well as well, or what do you think, Nick?
Well, I mean, you know what's crazy though is like I didn't know. So
that's crazy.
One of the things that always made me cringe like crazy too was the idea that like him saying India was cringy to me. I know I said earlier that there wasn't anything, but reading the IMDb trivia, apparently like that whole thing was to make it very clear that they weren't trying to make jokes off of Middle Eastern people after 9/11, and it was trying to make it
They had to pivot. They had to pivot
a little bit.
They were just like, all
and
right.
make it very clear, like, hey, we're not trying to incite any further kind of, drama or any further kind of like political strife between two people. They just wanted to include a joke. I
Like
guess.
I just want to be specific that we're talking about India
Yeah,
and
I
not
want-
like
We're not talking
Middle
about the
Eastern and,
Arabic
like, in general.
nations.
Yeah, bro. We need to be
Yeah.
specifically racist with our race.
Wait, so are you saying that the rumor that he found out about 9/11 dressed as the turtle man, like
According to what I read, Dana Carvey said in an interview or in a podcast interview, I think that he wasn't. That was the first shoot they had was the turtle guy, like the turtle man, essentially, and it was like days after 9/11, and the idea was that the director himself had a little stand down in front of everyone and said, "Hey, look, I know it's kind of hard and weird to start making a really silly comedy movie days after one of the worst tragedies that ever happened in American soil, especially." So,
and
we're
Dana
gonna-
Carvey's like in a turtle
Yeah,
guy
he's
suit
in
as the director said.
And so they're like, we're going to take a moment of
Turtle,
silence.
turtle.
We're going to try our best to, remember the people that have lost their lives in this terrible thing. And then we're going to start fucking saying, are you turtling it up for the Turtle Club? And that's how you got to do it. But
Wow.
it's, I mean, that's something that I guess a lot of people have heard, though, is the idea that 9/11 happened during that filming, which is insane to think that that's like a thing that could happen. But I mean, hey, there's been crazier things.
I'm pretty sure there was movies in production, but this wasn't one of them.
What this kind of tells me is that perhaps because of the whatever it is in the air after 9/11, that people weren't ready for this kind of comedy.
I mean, dude, I'm not even gonna lie. That's such an interesting thought too. That maybe in 2002 I forget when exactly it released, but
2002.
I think it's August. So even 9 months later, 10 months later, it still was not able to be fully received by the people.
That movie technically made money.
Yeah, no, it definitely made money. I mean, it
was actually
it over
profitable?
doubled it tripled.
Adam Sandler got his money back.
Yeah.
But that's Adam Sandler. He always gets his money back.
Yeah,
he does.
You don't fuck
He
around with
does.
Adam
Man.
Sandler.
Wait, I think you said this crucified the director. He was never able to direct again.
Well, the director never did. He never
didn't-
directed another film.
He
Yeah.
didn't crucify him, George. This is what you're misunderstanding. He made a masterpiece, and then he said, "I never have to make another movie."
He
again."
made his magnum opus.
Once if you do it right the first time,
You
you don't
reach
got to
that
do it
level.
again.
Just like the Constitution.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah. There's no Bill of Rights or amendments.
You don't amend that.
Yeah.
You would never
now,
amend
let's,
that.
let's moving forward. What were you guys' favorite scenes? I think for me, it would have to be the guy, the main antagonist, farting after every fucking sentence.
Yes,
Like-
Bowman.
Devlin Bowman.
It was only when there was it was only men around, which was it was like, okay, you just gonna bust ass.
I think he was like holding it in when his eye was like fucking flinching.
I've
At
always.
least he was a gentleman about it.
He was.
Yeah.
He was.
But they never acknowledged it. They let it happen, and they didn't embarrass him about it.
No.
And then when he died, he just blew mega ass.
Yeah, he just
Hey.
he released all of it, all the evil.
When George W. slaps you like that, you just
You just
You
got
lose
it.
it all.
Yeah.
Who's your daddy?
who's your daddy?
Who's your daddy?
I can genuinely believe that would be something George Bush would say.
It really looked like George
Ah,
Bush.
dude,
Fuck
dude, he was
It
known
was
to be
George Bush in prosthetic to look less like George Bush.
Did Dana Carvey do him on SNL? I feel like he probably did.
Well, I mean, I don't know if they did that shit as much in SNL as they do now with Trump and everybody else. Like,
Right.
impersonating political
I
figures.
think
I don't think
that
people
was a thing.
Wait,
That must have been.
I'm sure they've
He got
been doing it
famous
for
off of
years,
SNL?
but maybe not on TV.
Yeah, he was on. I think Wayne's World started from SNL.
Yeah.
No, I know that, but like he was at SNL.
I think he was on SNL.
Yeah,
briefly.
he was in
Yeah.
SNL. Yeah.
Man, for a man that has not that funny, times have changed with SNL.
He had his own show too.
What?
Like for like a season, and honestly, I feel bad for Dana Carvey because I think he's a funny guy, but he just
He
has
is.
not had any success, like any real success aside from being like Garth, which
Like-
I think is super
Or like
funny.
Mike Myers, that guy just fucking pulls on shows every time.
Yeah, and I mean, I know he had some trouble with Mike Myers too, because I don't know. I think they've since then they've gotten cooler, but
Wait,
There
he
were
had beef
issues.
with Mike Myers?
yeah.
But they're like the same fucking person. It's like I can see them
I
doing.
think Mike Myers is funny.
Are you?
No, Mark
Mike
Myers
Myers
is
is
funnier,
funny.
but it's like they do the same kind of comedy. It's like impersonation.
Who knows? Maybe it was
dry
envy.
humor.
Maybe it was the envy.
Like
It
this
could've
and
been.
Austin Powers. This is like a least successful version of
Yeah.
Austin Powers.
Well, I mean,
and
that's
it's like,
the difference is though. Like with a movie like this, it's a PG movie, right? So
Yeah,
Dana Carvey and just like Adam Sandler. And
What do
everybody
you?
else would
All right,
like
maybe
to-
that begs the question. Then, do you think if this was like a rated R comedy, they would have struck it with like the mainstream?
I
a lot
feel like
better?
they would have at least
No.
gone PG-13 because like that was the whole thing. So apparently,
Wait, this
Da-
is PG?
This is PG.
I think you said it was PG-13.
No, so Dana Carvey made this movie because he wanted to make something that his teenage or his
Oh.
9-year-old boys would like, but he wanted to make sure that it was because they apparently had always like dismissed PG movies that were live action. They're like, these aren't funny. They usually are too cheesy, too corny. They don't hit the mark at all. So he was like, I'm going to try to make a movie that's got humor in it that they can actually appreciate, that people can watch too, and it's PG.
When did Austin Powers come out?
The early 90s.
Early 90s.
Yeah.
So this was,
and they
so
made two
Austin
more
Powers
sequels.
basically influenced this art.
And then Goldmember was like 04.
I bet,
Yeah.
yeah,
With
absolutely.
Beyonce? With Beyonce?
I mean,
When Beyonce was still Beyonce. Controversial.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense. No,
Hot
I
take.
100% feel like if it was rated R, they would have been able to take the raunchy humor and
No,
everything
but
a little
the
bit
thing,
further.
I think the disguises, the whole disguises thing where he's switching in and out, it wouldn't have worked in rated R.
no, yeah, I think PG-13 would have nailed it.
Yeah.
I think if he could have made jokes that were a
Yeah,
little
well,
bit more elevated, a little bit more
PG
into it.
for sure, no.
No.
PG-13, I think that would be good in
I think
between.
he could have hit
Rated
like a
R, maybe
teenage,
it would have been too
like,
much.
audience,
But
you know?
But
Yeah.
okay, so I kind of want to talk about the comedy because the comedy is very dated and it's of its time, but I can't really pinpoint why. You know, like what makes this film's comedy so like early 2000s?
it's just so goofy and like it doesn't acknowledge its jokes. It's just like very like, hey,
Which is good though, right?
no, exactly. But that's perfect for the time. That's literally like it's just kind of like they're almost the butt of the joke, and they don't realize that that's what it is. It's like with Scooby Doo, like Shaggy's always the one kind of doing silly shit and fucking up, but he doesn't realize he's like, oh, they're not laughing, like with me. They're laughing at me. Yeah, which is
Yeah,
it's
no.
kind of like slapstick comedy, but
Well, I think the problem with this movie was the jokes overall. I think there were, again, this movie should have been. I think he was going for a rated R movie when he was writing the jokes, but then he's like, I need to be PG, and then dumbed it down, and I think it made it like overall a bad experience for them.
But I mean, to say a little bit about Alexis, I actually I like that the jokes, in my opinion, didn't go so far as to try to purposely be stupid. Like, it seemed like they did try to sneak in, like, I've loved and I've always quoted, like, even before we even thought about watching this movie, I always like to say little wieners and some tiny nuts. Like, that's just my, like when you were asking earlier what my favorite scene is, I love the one where he impersonates Al Pacino. Call him Mr. Peru.
Mr. Peru.
Yeah, but the problem is those jokes are funny, but then you have jokes like where he's like, "Oh, disguises can't look at the big box," and he's going like this. I'm like,
yes,
that's
But they left that at the very end of the movie where people would probably have left.
But I think it was by that point. I think the movie was too far gone for like if you're
there was a lot of that. That wasn't just like at the end.
But I
like,
think
Gator's got a point.
But I think it does serve a purpose, right? So like this is what I was saying in the beginning, where it's like it is weird to have a movie where you can almost see the character like genuinely like being two different people. Like Pistachio himself is a very weird, very like obnoxious, very fictional feeling character, but then when he plays random characters, even when he's impersonating Quint from Jaws, like it does like have its silliness, but it seems like legit. Like, oh, this is like
the Jaws guy was great. I like that one.
I think it's pretty impressive how like quickly he changed. And then when he went from Jaws, when he was like transitioning back to Pistachio,
even like his voice like going from really deep to like higher and higher and higher.
Yeah, like that's not easy. And
no. I think he accomplished a great feat, but he also like missed the mark on like, all right, the main character making him so high pitched and like, oh, this is him. Like, I'm like, all right, that's silly and great, but then it's also like he went overly silly with all of the characters. There was maybe like 2 or 3 that were serious that I was like, oh, this is good, this is great. I think you should have done that more across the board so they all have their own uniqueness.
And to add to that,
I think it was just silliness all around.
And to add to that, I think this movie would have been great if he would have had it 10 years before. Like,
if he was younger?
If he was younger, because I didn't help that he was like a 45-year-old man trying to play a dude that's like...
I give that. Yeah, that's true.
But it's funny because...
And if he would have done it in the 90s, he would have had a lot more freedom on what that would have been.
Yeah. Well, that was hard for him, though, because I guess in the 90s, he got injured and he was like recovering from surgery. He wasn't really involved in anything in the 90s.
What did he do that?
We can look that up, but I
don't doubt his abilities. I think I agree with you, Alexis.
He's talented.
You can see he's talented, and he's got a lot that he could potentially do with these characters. But I think the way that it was executed didn't work.
It was rough.
Work well.
And I can't help but think of The Cable Guy with Jim Carrey. And you know how in that movie he plays his character like a really weird guy and like with a lisp, and he like does that throughout the entire film. But that worked. Although actually at the time people didn't like the cable guy too.
just sorry, coming back to that. So
That's
he
fucked up, man. I was going
underwent
somewhere with
open
that.
What
heart
the fuck,
surgery
Nick? Was,
in the
did you
90s.
not see he was having a full-on conversation?
No,
say
because
something.
he asked me a question and we had to
Alright,
segue
alright.
for a second.
So
So he
he-
underwent open heart surgery, and they for blocked artery, and they operated on the wrong artery.
Oh my
He
god.
sued. He had to sue for malpractice,
Bro.
and he had 5 different operations to correct his.
How
heart
much did he
problem.
win off the malpractice?
7.5 million.
That's horrible.
I mean, for the time.
I mean, 7.5. You don't have to act again. You know, you can just.
Nah.
Yeah, you
Hey,
really
maybe
don't.
that's why he took this role. He's like, I already got
Well, no,
the
that
money.
was the point. Is he took this role because he had kids. He had like nothing in his catalog was something that a child could either watch that young or could really enjoy. You know what I mean? So
Bowman was in
We-
here.
Did Isaac just become the? Did he just become the
we
villain
got
right
it.
now?
We weren't supposed to acknowledge it. We were supposed to stay quiet for 5 seconds.
It was too hard, honestly. I looked at Alexis and I could tell he was already just ready to crack up.
I'm keeping that in.
Yeah.
yeah.
I didn't
Even
say
though-
anything. I was like, god damn it.
I love how we all looked at each other in the eye like. But no,
Yeah, I honestly, man, he should have won more.
I mean potentially, yeah. But
like, imagine
We're strained though. We're not talking about.
All
the
right,
movie.
Gator. Yeah, that's too much. Who cares? He
George,
should have won more.
shut the
but
fuck up,
That's
dude.
not the point. The point is that he literally had to take this role at this age because he suffered a fucking issue with
yeah,
his
he
heart.
was having
So
a
that's
medical-
it. That's
Died.
it. Yeah.
We were this close to never having the Master of Disguise in our life.
Bro,
I'm just
This
saying,
close.
I'm just saying, should have done it 10 years earlier. That's all I'm saying.
if we could have,
I have.
I think if he would have 10 years old earlier when he was much younger and like
Right, when he
willing
was
to
like
do-
35.
and this
George might have watched it.
yeah.
Bro, I couldn't have survived without seeing this film for
Yeah.
27 years.
He's
I
finally.
don't know how I did it without it.
He's
It
finally
doesn't make any
developing into a
sense.
person.
I think he's actually gonna be funny now.
He's gonna become another person. Become another person. No, I'm just kidding.
No, you can't do that. You
Can't
can't
do
do that anymore.
All right, so we pivot a lot. Let's go back to what was your favorite season? Nick? This is
See, fuck what I was trying to say earlier.
Yeah, you know what?
We
exactly.
didn't even go back.
Oh
to
no,
that.
but when it happens to Nick, yeah, it's all
Yeah.
fucking.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
all-
Poor
yeah,
Nick.
it's fine.
Okay, I'm the host. How
fine.
about
yeah, you're
kiss
the.
my fat ass?
Oh, finally he grows.
Yeah.
You got a tiny penis and tiny nuts.
That's
No,
what-
there you go. Damn.
oh, wait, tiny wiener, tiny wiener.
Tiny wiener.
Little wiener.
You got a little wiener
And some
and then
tiny
tiny
nuts.
nuts.
Holy garbanzo beans. But no, that was my favorite scene. The Mr. Peru, just because it was the whole thing
Hey,
from
represent
exactly.
Peru.
Yeah, you know what?
Hell
That
yeah.
that was the only downside
Hell
is
yeah.
he chose a country like Peru. Fuck.
It's one of the worst in South America. We got to look at it.
It's not one of the worst. It's not one of the worst. I can tell you that right now.
What's-
But-
Alexis
like
just
maybe-
holding him down. just
Maybe
'cause-
Guatemala's a little bit. higher.
Look, we've
wait,
got
wait.
some
Before we
listeners.
offend
Putting
the rest of
Guatemala over Peru?
Okay,
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
before we offend the rest
know a lot
of
of
our
Peruvians
fucking
and-
South American and Central American listeners, let all 3 of you, let's just
if they understand English, anyways.
I know, yeah. They're listening to this to
All jokes aside, we love Kui out here.
yeah, we
Yeah,
love
yeah.
everybody.
Coin.
But the big thing that I was gonna say from that scene is not only did it have like the stupid jokes, it was one of the few jokes that I felt like was able to be a little crude and sexual with the little wieners and some tiny nuts, and just
Mhm.
the fucking waiter playing like so annoyed but like respectful was hilarious. The dancing was like out of nowhere too.
Yeah.
With the flipping, and then even the scenes like indoors, like we all laughed at the stupid gag. He's like, "Yeah, you know Scooby-Doo's fake." He's like, "What? He looks so real." Like, I think that was probably like a gag on because I think Scooby-Doo Monsters Unleashed or Scooby-Doo.
I think the first one.
the first one
came
had just
out
come
then.
out too. So it's just like it was just a good scene in my opinion. I overall liked that one. Just thinking that it really tied in to him finally
Yeah.
playing a more mature character rather than like the little silly ones that he was disguising himself as right before.
They did have a good like soundtrack though,
Yeah, dude. I don't know how he got so many people to write songs for this movie.
and a lot of like weird celebrities showed up, like
Jessica Simpson.
Jesse Ventura.
Jesse Ventura,
Who else?
Bo Derek.
Bo
I
Derek.
don't really know her.
Michael Johnson, the fastest man
Oh
alive at the
yeah,
time.
Michael Johnson. Yeah.
Was he
Yeah, what the
Canadian?
fuck? He
and they got George Bush at the end too.
Yeah.
The real
The
president.
real George Bush. He flew like from like the
DC.
White House after
No,
finding
he
out
flew-
about
he
9/11.
He flew from Iraq
Right.
Oh,
to
shit.
Washington D.C. to Costa Rica.
Where did they film this? Did they film this in New York?
No, they
Or-
filmed this in the
or like Universal Studios.
They filmed this in Universal Studios. There's no way.
That's definitely universal.
In the
Yeah.
Universal Studios backlot,
Yeah,
to be exact.
dude. I mean, 80% of this movie was a set. Okay, but I do want to talk
the
about.
set design was great.
Yeah, exactly. The
Yeah,
set
no.
design was so good. It felt like
That's where like a third of the
It felt like
budget
the
went.
director used to do set design.
right. And
Weird.
and you know
Like
what?
in
And
40
it turns
movies.
out that they ended up doing production design for the rest of their career. Like
good as it should be.
I'm like, they did something really long.
Yeah, they did one good thing.
No, I'm
Well,
just kidding.
the big
just
thing
kidding.
is
They
that
did it fantastic though.
You got to
Yeah.
realize
I'm
again,
not trying to diss you guys.
he hit his masterpiece, and then he realized I need to make other movies look as good as this movie does.
Right.
And that's what he did.
And it's like, maybe.
And it was just a bunch of Adam Sandler
Honestly,
movies.
that's one thing that they excelled at in this movie, and I'll fucking give it to them.
Dude,
it's
yeah.
like all right, you look at John Wick now, right? And you realize you're like, holy fuck, who directed this? And it's like, oh, it's a fucking action sequence fucking director,
a stunt performer.
that
Yeah.
does. It's just like, yeah, he's a fucking
I
killer in
think
this.
that's his
he was
bread and
like in The
butter.
Crow.
Literally, what? John Wick 4? How many words did he speak? Like 3? Nobody
4.
cares. Show us the action, bitch. Let's run it.
I think
Yeah.
it was like a
Yeah.
paragraph.
But no, I think
Anyway, sorry, Dick. Go
like
ahead.
no, even like talking about set design though, like the fucking nest. I remember being a kid and like
Yeah.
watching that shit, and like those were like those types of things, like Codename Kids Next Door, that
Mhm.
show, like
Oh, dude,
where
that
you were
show
just
was
thinking
amazing.
like, oh, what if I had a fucking secret panel in my room
Yes.
that allowed me to open up into a deeper spot, you know, in my house or something like that.
Oh, in your house. I thought you were talking about like inside your
Oh, inside my soul. No, my therapist is still trying
He's
to do
looking
that.
for the
Alexis.
fourth hole.
the fourth.
The fourth hole. I've been playing enough.
I mean, Nick knows how to use his prison pocket pretty well.
Hey, bro.
so.
But aside from prison pockets,
You're just gonna glaze over that?
aside from prison pockets, I think the
He's talking to the man
costume.
that has this, like a freshest burrito right in front of him.
I mean,
Not
I'm
when Nick's
gonna,
done
I'm
with
gonna
it.
get hungry at some point. But the costume design, like it was all. I think it's Norbit level good. It's Norbit level good, in my opinion.
That's such an odd reference. What, like,
What do you mean? This
No, Norbit was great, but it wouldn't be like the
I think it's
number
better.
one pick.
didn't it get nominated for like
I think it's better.
like best prosthetics?
I'm like, I don't know. That's not the first thing that comes to mind for me.
Oh
but-
wait, you're talking prosthetics? alone?
prosthetic
Oh,
wise,
okay.
yeah.
I think it's
Okay.
Spaceballs level.
Spaceballs is pretty good.
I don't think I saw Spaceballs.
Ooh.
But you got mad at me for not watching this?
Well, come on, man. It's Master
Spaceballs it's a fucking parody on
It's a-
Star Wars. What do
it's
you
the
mean?
biggest parody.
I
It was,
know.
like, it was like one of the first parodies
I
to ever
know.
like.
But it doesn't have a 1% on Rotten Tomatoes.
It's pretty close. Look it up.
Should we just work
No.
our way
See,
up?
we keep talking about other movies.
Hey guys, should
okay?
we just work all the way up? Go from the worst rated movies of all time,
1 to
and just watch
100?
all of them.
That-
Let's just fucking run it through.
That'd be an interesting project, I think.
That would take us our entire lifetime. But I'm down. Let's do it.
It got 57% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, I know.
57%
Yeah.
on Rotten Tomatoes.
That's
That's too big of a jump.
56% way more.
Too big of a
than
jump. See,
this,
I
so-
want like films that are like super polarizing. Well, I guess this isn't polarized because everyone said it was bad.
What's Coneheads? I've never seen Coneheads. That sounds like it'd be a
Coneheads-
fucking
Coneheads
terrible
Coneheads is
movie.
in that
Yeah,
area.
it's
Yeah,
weird.
Is it up there? Yeah, I feel
It's
like
it's
like,
it's
up there.
Or that duck movie that fucking.
Howard the
Oh,
Duck.
Howard the Duck.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's just watch the most obscene,
Once you go
obscure,
duck.
disgusting, fucking terrible
oh,
movies.
now you want to get weird? Now
Well,
you want
I
to
mean,
get weird?
Wants to get
There's too
weird.
many fucking movies. I mean, I do like watching new things, so
I'm glad you enjoyed this film.
I did not.
Hey,
That's not what I said.
I'm gonna
Don't get it confused.
I'm gonna gaslight you until you do. Okay. What about you, George? What was your favorite scene that you saw in this movie?
I mean, I can't recall.
Don't
one
Where can you
pretend like
start?
Don't pretend like there weren't good scenes.
I can't even recall one
Dude,
specifically.
This
To
guy
be
was like
honest,
falling
with you.
asleep half the time. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
No,
coming
no,
off
I mean,
of a cold.
I was watching it, and I was just kind of like, all right, get back to me. I'm trying to. I'm
Mm.
thinking real long and hard
I
because
think-
it's
what about
hard.
you, Alexis?
I mean, any of the Bowman fart scenes, I think are pretty
They were
pretty
hilarious.
gold.
Yeah, they were
Yeah,
hilarious.
just because you have that really long awkward silence, but that they perfectly timed it though. It's not too silent for too long or too short, just perfect. But I mean, everybody loves the turtle scene, everybody. And then that scene where he eats the guy's nose and spits it back out, like what the fuck is that? that makes zero sense in the context
Apparently, Adam
or
Sandler,
the
that
rules.
was his one of two jokes.
Yeah, how the
Yeah.
fuck is like? No, turtles can do that. You know
Yeah.
that, right? Like that's
And
why,
think about
obviously.
this, guys. Think about this. It's the early 2000s. How long or how difficult was it for these people
the
to
CGI
animate
for that? When
Yeah.
it took like at least 2 or 3 work days for like a whole
Maybe
office
a
of
week
employees.
and a half or something. You had multiple people working on this scene.
So apparently it took 3 hours for him to get into the turtle guy disguise.
Oh my god.
Fuck, dude, that's
Just for the makeup
That's hell.
Well,
application.
That's
dude, imagine
hell.
Jim Carrey when he did the fucking
The Grinch.
the Grinch. It took him like a whole 6 hours to get in and out of that
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, I think didn't he go through like some FBI torture training?
Yeah, essentially
just so he could go through it.
Essentially, he just started smoking
Yeah,
because he like the anxiety was killing because he felt like he was getting buried alive every day, dude.
Yeah.
Jesus.
See, and I miss having stupid movies like this. You know, like I mean, I don't think The Grinch is a stupid movie at this level, but like
It's hard to top this.
like the level of costume design for these things. You know, like we just don't get that.
Well, I think it's just the level of commitment that we see in actors lately hasn't been it.
Because like you know we don't have Miss Doubtfires anymore.
Well, I think
Grinch, Cat in the Hat.
a lot of actors are just afraid to make flops.
I think
like
I think it's not
studios don't
even
wanna make
that,
that
but like
too.
also studios are just unwilling to greenlight anything anymore unless they know it's going to be profitable.
I feel like a lot of the movies that we've seen would never be made like today.
yeah, exactly. I mean, look at big box office production now with like Marvel even, and then them having movies like The Marvels flop.
See, we always
Bro,
end up talking
why
about.
can't we go back to?
It's always George bringing up Marvel.
You couldn't use fucking like Dune
That's a
or
perfect
something?
example. No, yeah, Dune also flop. But like, think about it. If a production like company like them could also like make a fucking flop and lose millions, imagine somebody trying to make something off a premise like this.
But that's the
absolutely
thing
not.
that's
It wouldn't
crazy to me
happen.
is that like they're so fucking up their own.
What's wrong with
ass.
fucking Marvel? All right,
But no, but this is what I was saying. They're so up their own asses that like look at this movie we talked about it. I think it was like 16 million to make. So fucking cheap. So cheap.
Shit, I have that. I can make that
Bro,
right now.
dude. Yeah,
dude, that's
shit
chump
right
change. Isaac spent that on lunch.
But when you think about
Those burritos?
when you think about something like Avatar taking billions of dollars to make,
Billions.
like it's
Billions.
insane to me to think like y'all are so afraid of flop, and here you
Yeah.
are turning a profit.
wasn't there Alexis? I think you brought this up.
Yeah.
That there was somebody.
I guess I was done talking.
Yeah,
no,
you're done.
I'm sorry. It adds on to your point. No.
There was
How
a
the
sentence
fuck-
there.
There was
wait,
an
wait,
actor that said that they're no longer making productions like this. Like
it was Matt Damon, no?
Matt Damon or something
Yeah.
like that. He was speaking
Yeah,
heavy on
he said
how
he said that
they're no longer making
DVD
movies.
sales would help like supplement.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was.
but that
referring
doesn't
to.
really happen anymore.
Yeah, 'cause
All right, so
everything
going back
goes
to your
like-
point, Nick.
Everything
Okay,
goes
It's
so
all
going back
streaming,
to my
yeah.
point, I guess then yeah, it's. I mean, you know, but that's the thing. Like, you'd think that there are deals that are supplementing it with, like, maybe selling to Netflix on a streaming deal or something like that.
Yeah, but the streaming companies are so stingy with their shit. They're not willing to, like, they're not giving anyone a cut. And actually, for the longest time, Netflix wouldn't even release their numbers. They would literally just, like, give you kind of a overall scheme of things, but they would never
Yeah.
release their numbers to the public.
Okay, I just want to say, Master of Disguise has 1% on Rotten Tomatoes, right?
Yes.
But
Right.
only out of 105 like professional reviews.
Yeah.
Okay, 105 people represent what? Like what percentage of the population?
All the white people in the world.
There's over 7 billion people on this earth.
All like
and only-
0.000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000 You're
probably right.
Yeah.
So these guys represent nothing.
Mhm.
That 1% means nothing.
They're not my mom or dad.
Yeah, and
Honestly,
I just want to put that out.
You know, it'd be crazy if this movie became into a Bollywood
I mean, but the
movie.
audience
I think
score
it'd
is still
I think it'd do
36%.
great.
like a Bollywood film.
Yeah, like they literally get this movie, cut it, paste it, make it into a Bollywood movie. It'd be fucking like it'd do well.
But the main
Bro, that
actor
one scene
wouldn't
with the
have-
Cobra alone, bro.
Oh my god.
Skyrocket.
All right, well let's get into it. So going back to the different disguises.
Alexis gets it.
You know
He
what
knows what I'm
that,
talking
you know
about.
what that scene
Dude, it
would
would
be
kill.
in
It'd kill.
Bollywood? It'd be a white guy with a golden retriever.
Fuck. That's our equivalent.
What instrument is he playing?
A pan flute. Fuck.
It's
Still the same thing?
Yeah.
No, bro. Oh, it would be the drums, bro. It's a white guy.
Or he's just slapping the bass.
slapping the bass.
All right.
All right, getting back to the disguises.
All
We're
right.
talking about the first one, the Indian guy,
Yeah.
self-proclaimed. So I mean, what did you guys think of it? Obviously, you know.
That's a hard four. That's a hard four.
Okay.
It's it's just racist. It's just straight
Yeah.
up racist.
It wasn't even
It
good.
should.
You
I
say
think.
4 out
I
of
think
10?
even at the time it was racist.
You know, the only thing I thought was
I know.
redeeming of that.
It wasn't ages
It
ago.
wasn't okay at the time.
I think the only thing that was redeeming of that whole scene is it was funny and stupid to me, the snake
with the
bits.
cheese
And
with
like the cheese and it barking and like the kisses and
Yeah,
stuff.
the snake was
And
barking.
like the recorder fact playing that it was playing such like seductive jazz music, like that shit was funny. The overly stereotyped Indian voices, yeah, even for the time, I'm sure that was like.
So give it a fucking rating, Nick. Fuck.
I mean, oh shit, what'd you guys? I'll agree with like a 3, yeah.
I said 4.
Oh, well, I'm saying 3.
Wait. We're talking about the overall movie or just that scene?
The
Just that
scene,
scene.
bro. The
no,
movie's
no,
a
the
10.
character,
Shut
the
fuck up.
character, like the sky.
Oh my god! I think it just.
So
hit me,
the
how are you reloading so fast?
They'll fart again while we're laughing.
I can't do that.
man,
That would have been
Bro,
weird.
that would have been way
All
better.
right, what do you rate? The
Point him
Indian
that
guy?
way, you fucker. Why do I get the brunt of it?
Rate the
Because you
Indian
say-
guy.
Because you say stupid shit. You're not paying attention.
Well, it's Indian guy, quote unquote,
Okay,
recorded.
That's what it is from
Recorded.
Wikipedia.
I'll
okay.
give it. I'll give it a 3. I think it was.
2.
It was
Fair
too.
enough. All right.
It was fucking racist as
All right.
shit. but-
Next one, Gammy Num Nums.
Gammy Num
That one was
Nums.
actually funny.
I
That's a
really like.
fucking-
I like saying.
That's
Gammy
an
Num
8.5
Nums.
for me, bro.
Yeah.
That was a hard 7. Hard
Yeah,
7.
num-nums.
You know, I'm gonna give that Disguise a 10 because I feel like I've met women, like older women that sound and look like Gammy Num Nums.
Okay. Next one.
It's just really impressive.
What did you give it, George?
I'll give Gammy Num Nums a 5. 5.
It
Yeah,
doesn't
what?
do it for you.
Like it's
It doesn't. Do for
It
you?
was. I mean, like I thought it was ridiculous that they didn't even put any prosthetics. They literally just put glasses on him, a wig.
Hey man,
And
it's a
no,
disguise.
I know, but I like
It's a
that. I like
prosthetic.
that. It was funny, so that's why I boosted it
There has
up
to be
from a
some
3.
type of
You want to
disguise.
have an easy disguise to put on because if you're the master of disguise, you can't take too long.
No,
to
I
do
know,
it.
but I think it's so ridiculous how the dad, he literally turns into another person
Because he's the master of disguise.
Yeah, and then he's the master of
hey,
disguise.
he was a
and he
level
literally-
1.5
apprentice.
apprentice.
Right,
Yeah, I
right.
know. I got
Respect
that.
the fucking
Right,
lore.
there's a level.
But I
to
did
this.
think that whole aspect of it was hilarious. I'm
But
like,
no.
the dad's a fucking
Well, that,
pro.
She was also fucking like that was Jennifer too, being a goddamn perfect like assistant.
She was a
because
great
they were
assistant.
playing off each other so perfect, like from her being starting to be
No,
horny.
he killed it. He killed it. You
She
guys,
killed it.
You
She
guys
killed it.
skewed me on
all
this.
right,
I'll give it a 6.
All right,
raise it up.
schoolgirl
6.
outfit.
Oh well, hey,
That's a
hey, she
2.
got a rose, bro. She got a rose.
If I say too much, I'm gonna it's gonna be a problem.
It's a 2.
You're gonna jizz.
It's gonna be.
He's
I'm
gonna,
not
he's gonna
gonna say
cream
anything.
himself.
I'm not
Give it
gonna
a
say
rating.
I'll give it 5 out of 10. You know, she
Oh.
had braces. She had braces.
Oh,
Okay.
I think that was a 7. All right,
George?
next one.
I thought it was weird. They had like a little kid hitting on him.
Yeah,
was like,
why it
yeah,
so,
what the fuck?
that's why it's so funny to think of. Okay,
Turtle,
Turtle
guy.
guy. Come on,
That's a 10. That's a 10.
that's a 10.
Look, everybody memes this. Everybody.
I literally can't. He looks like a turtle. You can't
He
even.
does.
He
Without
literally
the-
looks like a turtle.
Well,
I will give it to him. That was 8. It was
Yeah.
good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Terry Suave.
6.5. You know, I think he was.
I give 7.
Which one was Terry
cool.
Suave?
He get it, got it, doubt it.
Oh, that guy was solid. I like that guy a lot.
7.
Very
He
strong.
had a good British accent.
You
That
know,
was an 8 for me. That one was an 8. I like that.
that was
one.
like a James
Accent-wise,
Bond
I think
type.
was good, but I remember when I was younger, I used to think that the things he said were a lot cooler than what he
Oh.
actually said. And then like rewatching it, it seemed like his quotes were just like, they were all right.
Mhm.
So I'd give this one like a 7.
No, but I really like how that was one of the change-ups. Like
Went from being super silly to
super
like
silly.
more-
Like he's actually. I'm like, oh shit, this is actually how fucking.
All right, Mr. Peru, Tony Montana.
Tony Montana.
Tony.
Oh, dude, I know Nick
10,
loves.
10. That's
Yeah.
a fucking 10.
I'll give it a
Just
10
for
too.
little wieners and some tiny nuts.
I'll give it a 10.
Because he literally looks at-
It's an 8.
After he looks at after the waiter's looking tired of him, he's like, just looking you in the face, I can tell you have some little wieners and some tiny nuts. Or he said a little wiener and some tiny nuts.
I'll give him a 10 too because just he's representing the country. and,
Mr.
uh,
Mr.
It was
Quinn.
too much for me. It was.
All right, Rambling Boatman. I think that was a 9.
That one was the best one for me.
Yeah.
That was a
Yeah,
10.
It's an 8.
I was
Yeah,
like, this
yeah.
is exactly what a crazy old fisherman man sounds like. This is what I picture in my head. This is spot on. 10 out of 10.
Yeah, we've already talked about the transition
Yeah,
too,
it's just
which is
masterful,
great. Just
masterful.
watching
Oh, yeah.
him slowly come out.
When he was grass. Was
the cow pie.
That ass
Yeah.
was grass.
You know.
I give that a 7. I think that's like
Yeah.
that was a pretty good disguise.
Yeah, it's just the sequence after with him running and then
Yeah,
He
she's
puts
George.
the face back on.
Hey, wait, first time watching it, did you see his body laying on the ground? Could you
Yeah,
tell?
did you
No, I
notice
did
that?
not see him at all. I didn't notice.
Yeah, so
I thought there
he's
was
a
like.
master
Did you
of
think he was?
disguise.
You thought he was a cow in the back, huh?
Yeah, I thought it was a
You
cow.
thought it was a
I
cow.
swear
what
to
was
God, I
that-
thought he was
what
a
was
cow.
that for you, George?
I was waiting for him to be
Yeah.
a cow, huh?
So what do you score that?
Disguise wise, I'll give it a fucking 10 out of 10. The stupidity where he sees them and he puts it back
Right,
on and keeps
right.
running.
Or he runs
too
into
much.
back onto like New York streets. Or
Yeah,
whatever,
and he's
like-
running with
he's-
it.
and
He
he's-
has a
He's
full
reading the
ghillie suit.
newspaper.
Yeah.
reading the newspaper.
And
bus
these
stop.
ladies are not reacting whatsoever. Like that. No, this is New York.
It's
This is
New
what
York.
people do.
People,
Yeah.
you see cow pies. Yeah. Constable Mueller. I
Too
give
much.
that one. That one was
That one was
just
a 2
that one
for me.
That one creeps me
Yeah, he's
out.
a little creeper on that.
I like to switch it from that to the Suave guy, but
Yeah.
I don't like this guy.
Oh, that's
whatsoever.
interesting. This page they give him Energico points.
Yeah. And cool.
Damn, we should have thought of that.
Cherry Pie was the worst one. That one didn't make. He could just like.
Well, I like that.
Was it
cherry
even
pi-
him?
Cherry Pie was a very innovative way, though, to simulate gunshots. Like the whole scenes where he's starting to shoot cherries, and like they're bloody,
Oh,
quote
that's true.
unquote.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that's what I thought was like, oh, that's such a fucking clever workaround
that's
for
creative.
a PG movie.
That's very
like I
creative.
gotta somehow have an action
Mm.
sequence without making it like, you know, the slaps had to be super silly. They can't really throw punches and shit.
Oh
can't
yeah, I
use
didn't even
guns.
think of that. Slappers only, dude.
Yeah, bro.
007 for you.
Dude, I'll fuck you up after this. Don't shut the fuck up.
007 fool.
We had
So I like that one. I'll
W.
give that one a 6 just because of that.
George W. Bush is
Great
an 8.
reviews.
George W. Bush is an 8.
Yeah, that was a solid.
That was an 8 for you?
impersonation.
Yeah, think
I liked
that's-
it.
I think
I
that's
liked
all
it.
of them, no?
Yeah, George W was the 9.
Is it?
Steve, the
That's the Steve the henchman was the one where he played. He's like, "How's your wife?" And he's like, "You don't have a wife."
Oh yeah. But that was a real guy.
That was Steve the henchman.
Yeah, that was a real guy.
Let's go through our ratings of the movie. What do you guys give it? Nick,
Wait.
We gotta get into Letterboxd, my
Yeah,
guy.
why are you doing this out of order, man?
Dude, don't make me slap the shit out of you, Alexis.
Who's your daddy?
You slept me, I slept you.
Who's your daddy?
Let's see who stands up first.
Who's your daddy? I'm your
Okay.
daddy.
All right. Give me some of that Letterboxd music.
Letterboxd time.
Beautiful. I love that. So we got a few because there's a lot of there's a lot of Letterboxd reviews.
What's the overall rating on Letterboxd?
Oh god, you're gonna love this.
Watch it be like 7.
If it's not, I'm
So
gonna
Letterboxd is on a 5-star scale, right?
Watch it be a 4.
Okay, I'm pulling it up.
pick 4 out of 5. Or
Well, it's a 1.8. You have almost 6,000 reviewers giving it just a half star.
you guys fucking suck.
Yeah, and you have 185 people giving it 4.5 and 1.4K giving it 5 star.
Hey,
But
That's a good
look,
fucking-
it skews all the way down like to the 1 star.
All right, so what's the first
Jesus
Letterboxd?
Okay,
Christ.
okay. So the first one, this guy, his name is JC with the test tube thing. They gave it a 4.5 star.
this guy's gonna be a best man at my wedding.
Yeah, they
Hey,
say.
that's gonna be somebody in this fucking room.
Hey,
But don't start
slow
your
your
shit.
roll,
Hey,
partner.
You give it a 4.5, and you get whatever. The
I'll
fuck
give
you
it a
want.
5, and don't give me them cheeks.
All right, speaking of cheeks, they say, is he really not turtle enough for the Turtle Club? I watched this many times as a kid, and I don't care what anybody says. Still a great ass movie that I love, and it makes me smile. 4.5 Energicos.
Hell yeah.
4.5 energy goes.
Yeah,
Out of
All
5.
That
All
guy's
out
a
of 5.
stud. That guy's a stud.
All right, next one, the Birkin Nation. They give it a half star. There's nothing like watching Dana Carvey defile turtles forever. You know, again, it's on that turtle theme. And then we have Alexei Toliopoulos. They gave it a 1 star. And they referenced the 9/11 thing from IMDb trivia. The scene at the Turtle Club happened to be filming on 9/11 when word of the terrorist attacks reached the set. The cast and crew observed a moment of silence.
How the fuck do they go from a moment of
But
silence
wait,
back to
let
this
me ask
atrocity?
you this,
Jesus
though.
Christ.
So that's why they gave it a 1 star. Or is that the only reason?
I don't know, but dude, they got
They're just like, this movie sucks, 1 star. And fun fact, by the way.
9/11 happened.
and over 1,000 people liked that review too.
No, you know what it is? It's because you can't be funny after 9/11. You just,
Yeah.
you get hit with the news, and then you're just like, all right, how am I supposed to perform it?
We got to
All
keep working, guys.
Yeah,
we
bro.
got to
It's
keep
hard.
working.
It's impossible.
It's okay.
I
All
get
right.
it now.
All
It
right.
makes sense.
I think this one's a semi-real review. But you were gonna say
I was
something?
just gonna say these are 2 reviews right now that are half star that seem to me more of meme reviews than actual.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
they
think
didn't
so.
really
Give me
say
a
anything,
reason.
though. That's true.
Because here's the
Yeah.
thing. For me, the first one, I get it. It's skewed but at least he gives it the reasoning, saying, "Oh, I love this movie because of nostalgia. I remember watching it multiple times, and I loved it every time."
I want you to speak your mind, but at least give me a fucking valid
Exactly.
reason, please.
Because even
Yeah.
saying like he's defiled turtles, I'm like, I'm sorry, that's what he defiled, not an entire country of
Right.
Indians.
Right.
What? Like,
Right. I hear you. I think this one's real though. So they give it a 4 star and they say so bad it's good, but it's also just good. Like a lot of humor is just super bizarre and left field, or just classic slapstick dad humor. And it's a slapstick. It does get right for at least most of it. The rest is trash, but it's a lovable pile of trash. The fact is though that the Disguise family are very sexist men, so fuck that.
So what was the rating?
4 stars.
Okay.
4
Love
stars.
that.
That seems like it's still pretty like
4
good
Energicos.
rating.
that's 8 out of 10. You know,
Yeah.
it's a great rating. Yeah.
But you know they were blatantly sexist guys.
No,
But-
yeah, they
yeah.
objectified the shit out of women. I think, like I said, well, I mean, we've talked about this before, right? Period piece. The idea that we understand that, you know, nowadays you can't do that
They were
shit.
pretty sexist for a PG movie
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think they were trying to, I guess if their whole point was trying to make comments on the fact that these were beautiful women who were thick and voluptuous compared to what society wanted you to
So
think.
mixed?
That's exactly. If they were dumpies like me, what do you want to say?
Dude, I got this ass earlier. Oh my god.
Bro, there's no one like you, Nick. Nothing
Appreciate you
compares.
guys.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think they can't make this movie nowadays, obviously. But
No.
for what it did, I mean, it wasn't great. But at the same time,
Yeah.
I think if that was the motivation, I can respect.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't miss
we-
it.
but
I'm glad they can't
Do we
make
have one
movies
more
like this
review, or was
anymore.
that it?
We got two more.
Okay,
Two more.
let's
But
do
I do want to say, there's a lot of films that we see and we're like, oh, it was of its time. We can forgive it. But this one, people are still shitting on it 20 years later. So it didn't escape that. It didn't
Yeah,
escape.
I see it
I
now.
think it's just so infamous
Yeah.
that it's just like no one's gonna
It's
let
too
it go.
much
Just like
Turtle.
Turtle.
Not turtle.
All right, John Sonder, 1.5. This was one of those movies where it was on all the time, so I assumed it was a classic. Why? Another one. Of
I
those.
honestly
That's
have the
probably
same
a cheap
question.
filler movie that they could put into
No,
a
I
time slot.
I
Yeah.
have some questions like this, man.
But doesn't it feel like a classic?
It does, but primarily because it rips
Turtle?
off so many other kinds of movies, humor, Austin
Yeah,
Powers.
it ripped off The
Slow.
Exorcist.
And then also like you said, the action, the set design, everything is so grand that it's just like you expect it to be
Yeah.
fucking
I
so
feel
good.
like they went like
And it
100%
isn't.
on certain things, and then they just dropped the ball on like the rest.
I
of
feel
it.
like it's a showing of what they had like power over, right? So if the director knows he's good at set design, really controlled that. Like I saw right
So
here.
so they just 100% budget on set design.
Look, actually,
and
right there it
zero
says
on writing.
most of
zero
the
on-
14 million budget went to set design, celebrity cameos, and CGI.
Okay, yeah. See, there it is.
And you
There
can
it is
tell.
Holy
right
shit!
there.
So they wrote it after the fact, right? They were like, all right, we'll figure it out.
No, they had it
No.
written, but they just decided
That's
what
what
to
it
spend
feels
on.
like.
But the
They're just
thing,
like,
I
all right,
think,
let's figure out the sets
even-
and everything, and
Even
then
like Dana, so I saw Andre had pulled up a quote earlier that Dana Carvey had said. So
that's 4. I've been counting them. It's fucking ridiculous. They're nasty too.
see, look right
They're
here.
wet.
So look, it says right here. So Dana Carvey.
Oh my god. Oh fuck.
Let's get back to it, guys. Dana Carvey, he co-wrote and starred in the film, obviously, but he didn't have as much creative control. He was working along with Happy Madison because he didn't have as much power after being away so much in the 90s due to his injuries and stuff. And Wayne's World 2 wasn't as big as the first one, and so he had to have different things, basically different hills he'd die on, and he had very limited control over what he thought he could put
Okay,
in this
so
movie
I'm
and
not
what Happy
blaming
Madison did.
Dana Carvey on this. Then who wrote this? Who wrote
He
this?
did,
fucking-
but it's not about who wrote it. It's about who produced it, which is again Adam Sandler and Happy Madison, and them as a company.
that makes sense.
Them
That
as a
makes
company
sense.
decided what goes in and what doesn't. I mean, like literally the 2 jokes that apparently Adam Sandler wrote was the turtle one where he bit off the nose. We're like, huh?
Like, what the fuck?
Like it seemed more like probably a thing to
Where did
show
this
like
come
awesome CGI for the time, because that was pretty crazy for the time.
It wasn't
at least.
bad.
And then,
It honestly.
well, we even actually we
held
haven't
up
even
well.
talked about the goddamn moon scene. Where we literally were just shitting on Thor: Love and Thunder and saying, how the fuck did
Oh.
they do a better job doing a CGI fucking image in the sky compared to like what they did in Thor: Love and Thunder, where Axel fucking Heimdall's son looks like shit.
You know what they probably did?
So he's talking about Marvel again.
No, but this is
No,
relevant.
I know.
What is
Right.
with the Lexus?
This is
like
this is actually
hatred for
relevant.
Marvel.
They
You know,
it was probably a practical effect. That's why it looks so much better. It was probably just like a fucking projector going up and into like the top of the studio.
Potentially, yeah,
And
absolutely.
it looked great.
But no, I mean, I think, I get your point, George. I just think that a lot of these jokes.
In other words, he told
Getting
you you're a
control.
fucking dumb piece of shit. That's
Yeah.
what he said.
All right, this is the last
no,
Letterboxd
after
review.
you said it was Happy Madison, I was like, that makes sense.
All right, last Letterboxd review, and I think this is the best one.
Okay.
This is by Smimple. They give it a 2-star, but they like the movie.
Okay.
And they say, make no mistake, this is a truly awful movie with almost no redeeming qualities. That being said, I love this movie with all my heart, and I could quote it front to back, much to the dismay of everyone around me. And I feel like, at least, I think we can agree with that. This is a shitty movie.
What?
Dude, I'm literally
review-
quoting it fart by fart right now.
You are.
This review
you got all the bones.
literally perfectly describes like people's obsession with this movie.
Yeah.
like I don't.
Like, it's so bad that
That
it's good, but we know it's not good.
Yeah,
Everybody knows it's not good.
absolutely.
But I think that's the point.
See,
But that's what makes it so special.
I get
that's
it.
the
Like
sad truth
this
is
is
that wasn't
exactly
the
what
point.
what I asked Alexis in the beginning.
Yeah.
I'm like, you love this movie because you hate it, right? Like,
No, I don't hate it.
no, you like. It's just so fucking.
You know what it is? It's a
And-
movie that you don't fucking think about. You don't have to worry about looking at your phone for 10 minutes or going up to use the restroom. You just come back and you're like, this is so dumb. I love it.
And
It's
they
like-
and they
it's
actually
great.
they filmed
It's
this on
easy.
film. Like this
Oh,
is
shit.
this is one of those movies that it was shot on film.
Absolutely.
They just did everything right.
And it looks great. It still looks good.
It's so
It does look
yeah,
good.
it's watchable. Like it doesn't look straining to like see it. Like all the costumes, everything is just
I could tell that they put in effort, and unfortunately it kind of fell flat, but like it's still it's solid in my opinion. Well, I guess we're already doing it in the reviews, huh? Aren't we?
All right, well, you know what? Let's get to it too. You already started it. How about you give me that review, big dog?
Yeah. I mean, just like this guy, I think like I know it's like I know it's like 4 out of 10. I know it's 4 out of 10, but like right here it's like a 9 out of 10.
Okay.
So
Okay.
what's your legit review?
Yeah, so what's the
Are you
actual
giving it a 9 out of 10?
answer?
I want to give it a 9 out of 10 because it's special to me.
I love you.
I think he just wants to get lucky with Nick tonight.
Yeah,
That's,
he doesn't
that's what
want
I'm
to. He's
thinking.
gonna get lucky.
I'm like, he put this movie over some movies
you know
that we
what?
love.
let's
fucking
get.
crazy.
All right, George. Just all right, George. Give your review. Andre, turn his volume down.
I'm just gonna keep it simple for you, Nick. It's a 3, dog. That's gonna be a no,
No.
for me.
I want your best points though. I respect you.
No, like
Out of 5?
I mean,
3 out of 5. Holy
nah,
shit.
3 out of
George.
10, bro. Like, I get why you guys like it. I see the irony in all of it. I also do think that it's like there's some redeeming qualities that made me laugh and certain things that I really enjoyed. But overall, I can't get over the silliness. I can't get over the dad jokes, the nonstop slapstick comedy. I don't have any of the nostalgia that you guys do because I didn't watch it when I was a kid. I watched it for the first time as a fucking 27-year-old grown grumpy man. So I just couldn't enjoy it the way you guys do. I wish I did watch it when I was 10, or if I would have gotten a Sky Video with fucking Gators.
Video
Sky Video?
Video Sky.
Video Sky.
You grew up in this neighborhood too. How do you
Bro,
not
I
remember?
know. I went to
in
the
this
other
neighborhood.
one, the cheaper one on fucking.
That was the
Clinton.
cheaper one.
Video Sky was always cheap.
There was another Video Sky down there.
No, there was another one that I would go to, but
All right,
I can't
doesn't
remember the
matter.
name.
Doesn't
Doesn't matter.
All
Irrelevant.
All
The
right,
point
Isaac.
is, I should have been there with you
All right,
guys.
George,
I
shut the
wasn't.
fuck up. I'm
so
over
it's a
it.
3. That's it.
I'm over.
You don't mind.
All right, Isaac,
I
let me
got
know.
7.5.
7.5.
7.5.
I think it's just a nostalgic movie. It's just like funny. Like
I could watch it 1,000 times, you know.
maybe not 1,000 times,
All right, 999.
but it's just a good time, man. Like you want a dumb movie, you know, you want to hear this movie like while you're doing some homework or you're on a sick jam session on fucking League of Legends and you're fucking rocking hard with your cock out. And
Yeah, you want to see some large cabooses?
yeah.
You'll get that.
The mom from Wizards of Waverly Place, you'll see her. You know,
Yeah.
but
I respect that. Look,
yeah.
before I get into mine, one of the things I actually wanted to do. So I only
here we
told,
go.
only Alexis knew that we were going to watch this film because I was talking to him about what movies.
I'm actually pissed he didn't tell me.
The reason I'm gonna tell you why, because actually that was on purpose. So the reason why I didn't want to tell anybody was because, like George was saying, I wanted nobody to have like that mindset of like we're gonna watch this dumb, stupid, silly movie because I wanted honest opinions. Like I had it in my head that we're gonna watch this movie, so I was excited. And I was able to like lighten my day.
And it was delayed by 2 weeks.
It was. It sucks because we were trying to fill it for 2 weeks. So for 2 weeks, I was excited to watch that movie. and I
Yeah,
was like,
Gator.
"Fuck." But no,
I
like
had shit going on in my life,
there
dude.
was a lot of important stuff.
No,
It's
no,
fine.
no. I
That's
was
fucked up, George.
But,
just kidding,
that's
dude.
fucked up.
But
Kidding.
the reason why I'm saying
church
though
thing?
that I didn't want to tell you that was important was because I had an inkling that George had never watched this film. I think we had talked about it one time. Going back to it though, is like my big point was, like I said, I had an inkling that George had never seen this movie. I knew that you had watched it before, Alexis, but
Many
Isaac, I didn't.
times.
I was fairly certain you've watched almost everything that we've already seen.
Yeah.
But I really wanted everybody to be in whatever the fuck mood they had that day and just watch this and see how you react. Like George, I would challenge you at one point to try to put yourself in an actual like happy-go-lucky, silly mindset,
Put yourself
and then
in a
watch
disguise.
it. Because then you probably like you came in. We already told you were clearly frustrated that you were obviously in traffic, trying to change.
Super late, like always.
Among other things.
Well,
I
like-
literally worked a fucking 9 hour shift.
I gave you.
Sick.
I'm giving you credit. I'm giving you
Got
credit.
straight here.
I worked
Was still in work
fucking
clothes.
12 hours every day, but
Bro, you
I
take a
woke
nap
up at
every time
4.
you get home.
I woke up at 4 in the morning
Your
to
mom
get to
tells
work
us.
today.
But anyway, going back to everything what I was saying is, I get you were stuck in traffic. I get
just
we were
making
hungry,
excuses.
and I get you're feeling sick, right? So
Yeah.
all those things obviously factor in what you were like. Like if we would have watched like a fucking crazy, really funny movie or action movie, you might have had a different experience.
Yeah, not the best mood, honestly.
Exactly.
Like,
So
the
that's
vibe,
my
the
point.
vibe wasn't there for me right now, so maybe that played into my
But
overall.
But my point with
rating.
that is that allows, in my opinion, for you to give like an honest, both of you guys to give an
you know
honest
what?
review.
I'm actually glad you did because I had a really long fucking day today. It was one of those days that just shit kept happening.
Yeah.
And I came home and I met you. You were already in the garage for some reason, but
In the dark.
Laying on the bed naked. It
Yeah,
was.
dude.
I mean,
I saw some hairy cheeks, but that's besides the point. Like it was honestly like I let go of whatever happened down there because it was just so fucking dumb. Like,
Exactly.
It was just a good time.
It'll turn your mind off.
And that's
Yeah.
look at that, two different things where it's like you found out, you're like, okay, tonight's gonna be easy and fun and relaxing. You're over here like taking it seriously because you don't know what's coming next. Obviously, you don't know what to expect, and you're like,
You
what
don't
the
know.
fuck? Like I have to prep myself for this. Like,
It's because George doesn't know good cinema. Let's be fucking for real right now.
You know what? You said it, I'm
beautiful.
Mr.
Beautiful.
No,
Well
no,
said.
no, no.
Well said.
But anyway, going back to my
get his favorite
portion.
movies.
So for me, I think
And
this
let's make it
movie is
quick, Nick.
phenomenal. I think it does a really good job with, like we talked about, set design. I think costumes were great. I
Hey
think-
Nick, I don't want to cut you off, but can we get to a fucking rating?
Oh, I'll give it to you, baby.
Like Jesus Christ.
Cameos were great. Obviously, a lot of the jokes weren't good for the time, sexism and shit like that.
Turtle.
But I think that
Turtle.
regardless, it kills it. I'd give it an 8.5.
How the fuck did Alexis rate this higher than you did?
Alexis
Well,
likes Scott
the only
Pilgrim,
thing
so.
that
Alexis just likes everything. I don't think we found one that he
Scott
dislikes.
Pilgrim is like our most popular episode. Everyone fucking liked that episode.
No, I
Because
love
you know
Scott
why they liked it?
Pilgrim.
Because I shitted on it for the first time.
Oh my
and nobody,
God.
and nobody
That
else
was
fucking
dramatic.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well,
you can't shit on Scott Pilgrim though. Like,
I did it.
why did you
Very
shit on
successful.
this?
all right. So if we average out our scores,
Yes.
we give this film, Master of Disguise, a
Disguise.
7. Disguisey. 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
God damn it, George.
Energicos.
How the fuck did we give this a 7?
7 out of 10.
How do we give this anything higher than a 5? That's when.
Hey.
Wait, let me change my rating. Let me change
Wait,
one.
that'd be like
Let's break that.
3.5 stars
Hey,
on Letterboxd.
Two can play that. We can make 3 Teds and we'll fuck you up. God.
All right.
George
I'm
tried to
like,
skew us, but it didn't work.
I don't know how. No, that's not true. That's my honest rating.
Hey,
I'm like,
you know what?
Yeah,
Let's
it's
see
just
this.
Arne get,
Let's
like,
see
he's
this.
like always trying to go against the society.
Yeah.
Honorable
Always,
rating here.
always.
Andre, what do you think of this
everybody
movie?
rates this a 1.
Oh, yeah.
I'm in the majority. What do you mean?
Here,
All right,
hey,
all right.
You don't respect us. I get it.
Let's
Andre,
listen
what do
to
you
our sound mixer.
Okay, so seen you as a little kid.
Hey, sexy ass voice, by the way.
I'm like, we need to put this kid on the mic more often.
Right,
Jesus Christ.
Jesus.
Let's replace George.
He's got radio voice.
Thank you. As a little kid, I love this. Rewatching it now for the first time in what feels like probably years.
Probably years.
I think it's a piece of shit.
Finally, some
leveling-
honesty out
leveling
here.
that out, I'm gonna give it like right in the middle. I'm gonna give it a 5.
It's solid. That's an honest review.
Yeah.
That's a good review. Yeah.
George is the piece of shit.
Yeah.
He still watched it as a kid. I didn't even get to watch it and enjoy it as a kid. Fuck you
Hey,
guys.
let's be honest. Maturity level, you're fucking still a kid, okay?
Bro, I don't
Yeah.
give a fuck.
But yeah, all right. Well, we gave it a 7 out of 10. It probably came a little down because of Andre, but you know what? We still respect you and care about you.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
And
Yeah.
guess
Not
what?
like George.
No, we appreciate
It
that
was
review.
4 guys. One
film.
film.
Wait. But just before we go, I feel like we just always got to remind our listeners,
Yeah, well,
whoever's listening.
You know,
They're already gone, dude.
number one thing is reach out to us on Letterboxd, email, wherever you find us, Twitter, Instagram. We're all over the place. Anywhere you guys want to engage, we'd love to talk to you guys, hear from you, understand what you think about our podcast and what movies you recommend that we
And
watch.
if you guys interact with us more, I think eventually we're gonna set up a poll of 4 movies that are potentially
Yeah.
that we want to review, and you guys get to choose. And
Yeah,
we'll go
we've
from
we've gotten a lot of crazy engagement on Letterboxd. People have given us, we shout people out. We want to continue to shout them out, and they gave us really good recommendations. They DM us, let us know what other movies we should watch. We're gonna try to start cycling some of those in. We really want to just hit a variety of movies first before we started getting into some
And I gotta
more
say,
obscure ones.
yeah, good point, Nick. But I gotta say that whenever you guys reach out to us, I feel like that fuels us.
Oh, dude,
It feels great.
Super good.
It feels great.
Yeah.
Or if you guys have any movies that you guys want us to watch and have already reviewed, let us know. Put it in the letterbox.
Good thing I said that.
Yeah,
10
good
seconds
thing. Good
ago.
thing Nick already
God
said that.
damn it, George repeating what somebody said. That's a classic joke.
Wait, what? If they've already reviewed it?
This is why he gives it a 3 out of 10.
Dude, he just literally said the exact same thing you said.
I
like,
spaced them out. I always do it. I don't know what it is with
He's
Nick,
too
bro.
busy staring at my ass, and I'm sitting down.
Dude, he's like, you know what? That sounds like a good idea. I'll save it for 10 minutes later. You fucking piece of shit.
You know what? He just pulled that fucking scene from this movie where he's like, "You remember when you had that idea
Oh, yeah.
where we go to the turtle club?" And
He's like, she's like, I
It's
just
so
said that.
crazy. It's so crazy.
It
Just might
You know why
work.
he gave it a 3? Is because it's literally him in real life, dude.
He's pistachio.
Dude, I'm Pistachio.
That's Pistachio
Master of
Disguise.
Disguise.
Oh my
I swear
God.
he looks like a disguisey.
Well, all right.
All right.
Let's give a final intro again. Thanks again for listening, guys. This is 4 guys.
One film.
One film.
God damn it, George. This is what.
Gotta cut that guy.
Bro, I'm like having trouble breathing over here.